And we are live here in sunny Florida in the Panhandle in beautiful Destin, Florida, hanging out. Me and Big Mama Rood over there in the corner, swinging on the swing and living the Florida life, right? Trying to see what that's like. At least we're trying, right? Hope you guys are doing good. We'll wait for a few people to hop on. This is a topic I like to talk about it because nobody talks about it because they act like nobody's got it. And if you ain't got it, you ain't doing big enough shit. I'll tell you that right now. Or if your guy you're following or your guru you're following is not talking about this, then he's probably not doing what he says he's doing. Because if you ain't got fear and anxiety, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis as an entrepreneur, either you're not pushing hard enough or you ain't doing enough big enough to scare you, right? And I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about how to handle and control that fear, because I've been doing this shit since I was 22, right? Putting myself in a corner, scaring the shit out of myself, and having to deal with like real fear and anxiety of the threat of loss of revenue, loss of wealth, loss of finances, money, security, all those things, right? So, Mama, I don't think I can see comments, so you have to let me know. But, guys, it's interesting that it's a direct correlation of your ability as an entrepreneur. And maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're like, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I haven't really done any entrepreneurial things. It's going to be a direct correlation of how much action you're taking or risk you're taking as far as if you're trying to make money or start a business. There is no way around it. You're going to have some fear. You're going to have some doubt. You're going to have a lot of anxiety. And I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about how to handle that, because there's no way around it, right? There's just no freaking way around it. It's going to suck. It's not always going to feel good. You're going to doubt yourself. You may have a few panic attacks like me. You may have, debilitating fear or crippling fear sometimes, right? To where you just can't take action. And if you probably have had that already if you follow me, because maybe you wanting to get into a business, but you just can't start because you are, too fearful, right? So let's talk about some of these things. Let's talk about how to handle that, right? There's 3 ways that I've found over the past almost 20 years I've been an entrepreneur. I've started a lot of different businesses. It's 3 things that have really helped me push and block out fear and anxiety, right? I'd say 4 things, not 3. And the first thing is, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not exercising, you're seriously giving yourself a huge disability, because working out is probably the entrepreneur's Prozac. You'll notice most entrepreneurs, and I'm gonna say all because I don't want to generalize, but most entrepreneurs exercise in one form or another. They do that because it's like a natural Prozac, right? Because we have to feel good all the time, because we're always putting ourselves in sticky situations. If you guys are not working out, if you're not exercising, fuck, I don't work out for muscles. I'm not trying to look like He-Man. I do it because I want to feel good, because I have to do shit that makes me not feel good all the time. And if my body doesn't feel good and my mind doesn't feel good, on top of putting myself in a stressful situation, it compounds the effect. But if I can trick my mind to feel good while I'm deliberately putting myself in a bad situation, it's like I can cancel out a lot of that fear, right? So working out and exercising is one thing. 2, fasting. That has been a fucking game changer, guys. Game changer. If you have, not eating 3 meals a day is something that the mind does, and it's actually the brain. When you starve the body, you can't get depressed. It's the craziest thing. If you only eat 1 meal a day, and that's why I do it. And Big Mama can contest that. If I eat too much, I'll literally have a panic attack, and the fear kicks in, because I don't know what look it up. I'm not gonna sit here and give you a long dissertation on fasting, but maybe look into that. try eating one meal a day. Maybe start off not eating breakfast and push your lunch back further and further to you just eating one meal a day. That has been a game changer.
It makes you more focused, right?
Oh, absolutely makes you 100% more focused.
A lot of people that do speeches and stuff like that, like they won't eat.
Yep.
Until after.
Well, when I have to do speeches, I don't eat. I don't eat for I'll fast for 2 days, because the mental clarity it gives you when you don't eat, because your body's not sitting there focused on digesting food, it can actually heal the body, and something happens to the brain where it secretes more dopamine. Your body, the technical real reason behind it is your body spikes in testosterone and growth hormone for males, right? When you fast, like you literally, you can look it up. I'm not just making this shit up. I've done hundreds of hours of research on this. I've been fasting since I was 30. So what is that? I'm almost 9. I'm 30. I just turned 39. So about 9 years now, doing intermittent fasting and keto. But what happens when you don't eat is the body spikes testosterone and growth hormone. It's like, I'm talking really spikes, like 1,000%. And the mental clarity you get is just ridiculous. So that has been a huge game changer. Eating right. Like if you're an entrepreneur and you're eating fucking Skittles and Twix and all that shit on a daily basis, dude, sugar is poison. It'll give you anxiety. Sugar will give you anxiety, no doubt. Hands on, like it's fucking poison. It's just as bad as fucking heroin if you sitting there living off of sugar. Pat, I can't see the question, so make sure you checking all that.
I am.
And the last thing I want to tell you, which is the biggest game changer for me to handle anxiety and fear when starting a business, or just when you're being an entrepreneur, anxiety can't catch action. Let me repeat myself. Anxiety can't catch action. If you get into action and you stay super busy, even though you have anxiety, it goes away. Like the faster I move, it's like anxiety can't keep up. And when I slow down, the anxiety catches me. It's like anxiety is constantly chasing you. As long as you keep moving, it doesn't catch you. As soon as you stop, then it's like, oh fuck, you have a panic attack or you have anxiety. Like that's been like the 4 biggest game changers for me, is like working out, fasting, eating right, and staying fucking busy. Like I'm talking so busy that people think you're crazy, right? Like I never sit still. I'm always doing, I say never, like, you know what I mean? I'm just, I'm always doing stuff, right? And for you guys that are just starting off, like if you don't, and this is just like real world experience. This is like me just talking to you, telling you things that have helped me, because I know if it helped me, it could probably help you. And these things are not like revolutionary, right? I'm not telling you nothing you probably never heard, or stuff that you probably, it's like, oh my God, this is such a unbelievable content. Sometimes you have to be reminded of the basic things that can help you, right? Because let's face it, guys, it's hard enough. Like you're probably gonna fail as an entrepreneur. Like 9 out of 10 businesses fail. I've had a bunch of failures, but I've had some good home runs, and those 4 things really help me push past the fear and help me keep continually pushing past the fear to take more risk, more calculated risks, more investments in myself, investments in other businesses. I just invested a bunch of money and time and effort and moved my whole family to start another business.
I have a 5th point.
What, you got a 5th? Oh, Big Mama's got a 5th point. I had 4, but she's got 5. Let's go, hit it up, Big Mama.
I think it's important that you surround yourself with like-minded people.
That's a good point.
And masterminds and in events, or just like local business owners that can relate to you, because the venting on different things that you go through in your business can alleviate
because other people are doing it. Well, other people are doing it.
They can relate to you, and then they can maybe give you solutions you hadn't thought of. So
and it's kind of like you can vent to other people that are doing the same shit you're doing, right? If you try to start talking to your cousin or your aunt that's like has no idea what entrepreneurship is, she just thinks you're this crazy person that takes too much risk. Like she's just gonna think you're she's not gonna be able to relate. She's gonna be like, dude, like you're dumb. Like you shouldn't be doing all that, right? But if you talk to other people that are doing the same shit you're doing, then they'll be able to confine in you, and you'll have a common reality on you guys doing the same stuff, and it's like it's not a big deal, right? You can kind of vent on each other, but keeping a good environment, a close circle of tight knit other entrepreneur. Like you're gonna have to soar with other entrepreneurs, other eagles, right? You can't just hang around with a bunch of blackbirds and blue jays that are not trying to do what you're doing, right? The eagles fly a lot higher than the blue jays and blackbirds, and they take more risk. And if you're talking ego talk to a bunch of blue jays and blackbirds, they're just not going to understand it. They're going to think you're crazy. So anyway, any questions, guys?
So I'll just start from the top.
Yep.
Robert, Florida life is pretty good. He said Robert says so. John Rivera
True
says,
that, Robert.
how are you?
What's up, John?
And then Aaron is asking if you're single.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Big Mama, am I single?
I mean, if you want him. You have to bring 5 kids,
She was asking for a friend, though, Mama.
Oh, is that sister wife?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm single if you babysit. And you could she could watch the kids while me and my other girlfriend right here, we're going to date. We could take turns, huh, Mama? If she watches the kids, we trade out. Oh boy.
Oh God. Okay, I'll skip that. Oh.
What was it? What was it, Mama?
You don't want to know because I don't want to hear your replies.
Why?
The same person asking if you're single.
Oh, okay. Wow.
One lady says, Melanie says, maybe I need that exercise.
Yeah.
And,
well, just so you know, the girl is asking if I'm single. I've been with Big Mama Rood right there for 22 years, Patty. 22 years,
and we've probably been knowing each other for
30,
25.
Yeah. And we got 5 kids, so needless to say, I'm not single.
Patrick says he's done a 21-day fast.
Wow.
Damn.
Like
you were not hangry?
Like no eating at all, like 21-day fast, like straight no eating, or just or was it intermittent fast, like eating 1 meal a day? I mean,
we need more details on that.
Yeah, I need because the longest I've went is 3 days, like nothing, not eating any food, and it was pretty.
Yeah, he was hangry.
I was hangry, but dude, it's worth it. It cleans out the body, and like it really helps you with, like, you can't, when you're in a fasted state, you just can't get upset. Like you can get upset, but you don't get the anxiety and fear almost bounces off of you. It's the weirdest thing. Like I can't even explain it. It's there's no words in it.
21-day water fast.
A water fast. Okay, wow. I mean, you need to try that.
I don't want to be around.
I know you ain't gonna be around me, but no, it's weird. It's like you can't. You don't get depressed or upset or have a lot of anxiety. It does. It's like a natural high. It's a natural high. It's like you're shit. How can I? It's like you're always on a glass of wine, right? It's like you're always on a glass of wine of just that sense of that's what I was looking for. That sense of well-being, right? It gives you a sense of well-being that is really smooth, and in doing the keto diet too, where you're eating a lot of healthy fats and avocados and coconut oil, that really intensifies it, right, when you do get hungry. So definitely do that. Definitely take massive action. Like if you stay super busy, like I said earlier, anxiety can't catch action. Anxiety cannot catch action. If you're constantly in action, anxiety won't catch you, and you're just gonna get a bunch of shit done, right? And the more shit you get done, it's just like you just finally getting caught up, and you're meeting all those goals and things you're setting out in front of yourself to get accomplished. So, and this goes for not just real estate investing. I know most of you guys follow me because of real estate investing, but I'm an entrepreneur, right? I mean, I've started all kind of other businesses. I just started a new business now. Like it's the same fear and anxiety, and I don't care. Like now, granted, it does get a little bit easier as you go along, but it's like when you hit a new level and you're trying to go to that next level, like it starts all over again, right? It starts all over again with the fear of unknown, the fear of not succeeding, the fear of not being successful. We all go through it. Like I don't know any guys that I know that my partners are guys that we do the same thing, that are entrepreneurs. Like we all talk about the same shit. Like it's like, whew, right? Like you just like shit, and like sometimes you gotta take a deep breath. Like man, it's tough, right? But it's worth it at the end of the day, because I'd rather feel like that than feel depressed because I'm in a dead-end job, right? Let me repeat myself. I'd rather feel like that and put myself through that and give myself a chance and a shot than be stuck in a dead end. And some jobs are not dead end, right? Some jobs are like, I'm not beating up the person that has a job, because some jobs are like just fucking awesome. If you can work for somebody that you can make $200,000-$300,000 a year and have some freedom and benefits and all that, and you can go home at night and sleep and you don't have to think about the business, there's a lot of value to that, right? There's like tons of value to that. So, and you may have a high performance or high stress job, right? This applies across the board. I should have just labeled this how to handle anxiety and fear, not just as an entrepreneur, but shit, as a high performance employee. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, right? Maybe you're not just an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. And you have like a, like a high, your boss demands a lot of you. Like he sets a high standard and you got to produce or you get fired, right? So those are like 4 things that I do, and I do them on a daily basis. I'm not just telling you this. I really practice it. I work out almost Big Mama, do I work out almost every day? At least 6 days a week. At least 6 days a week I work out. Not for muscles, not for totally just to keep my mind sharp, keep the anxiety and fear. And, and sometimes I eat like a rabbit. Like I'll literally eat broccoli and asparagus and freaking coconut oil all day just to make myself feel good, right? Like I literally do these things. And I literally stay in action all day long. Like I don't do any, like I'm usually always busy doing something. So I hope this helps. I don't do these videos. I guess I do these videos too to vent to you guys, to help you guys, so I could share like what I go through. Because if I'm going through it, I know some of you guys are going through it, and it's tough, right? And to have the courage to come out and say it and not act like everything's fucking unicorns and fairy tale dust, because it's not, right? Shit is hard. Like it's like super hard, right? And you can't underestimate how hard it's gonna be, right? And for me to come on here and vent and to give you guys some value and shit, you give me back value, just let me vent, right? Because I like to talk about things that are real. Like I'm not a guy that's gonna sit here and tell you shit that ain't like real, right? It's hard out there. Shit, it's hard dealing with Big Mama. We fight about.
It's hard dealing with me.
Cool, man.
Me to deal with me.
we fight just like everybody else, right? Shit, I beat her ass at least once a week, slap her around,
I'll beat your ass when we get off of here.
Yep. No, it's funny. You watch people, they post on social media like life's fucking great. Don't get me wrong, life's good. Like I'm not complaining. Life is good, but I got my problems just like everybody else. She's got her problems. We got, we fight just like everybody else. We argue just like our kids are freaking bad as
Super
all hell.
hard.
I got one that's really really bad. Like he's freaking hell on wheels. He's just like I was, but it's just real life, right? And don't get caught up in the fake baloney shit of people posting on social media like life's fucking piece of cake. Like it's all bullshit.
It's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be a piece of cake. If that's why it's called life, right? But that's what makes it interesting. That's what gives it the game factor, right? It gives it the game factor of winning and losing. Wins, loss, highs, lows. Like fuck, imagine if you always won. You never lost. Like you didn't even know what losses were. How fucking boring would that be? Like there's no comparison. The good is not as good and as sweet without comparing it to the losses, right? Or the downs, right? It's like kind of like one of those things, like you see these guys that do so good in life and they freaking crush life. They do so well for so long, they start caving themselves in. You ever seen that?
They're looking for trouble.
They look for trouble because they've created so many wins that they start freaking doing drugs, making bad decisions, cheating on their wife because they're probably winning too much. They want to create some losses, right? Us is it's almost human nature that we want to create the game of losses. Like the bigger the problems, like that's all we do is just create problems for ourselves to solve, and that creates a game, right? I created a big huge problem of moving my family all the way across this 4 states to Florida so I can start a new business. That's a huge fucking problem. Huge problem. Has it been easy, Mama?
It's a good thing I have nice views.
Whew, man, it's been tough. It's been tough, and and anybody that says it's easy is just they fooling you and they selling you a bill of goods, right? But it's to have the courage to actually do something like that while other people laugh at you, tell you you're stupid, tell you that there's no way you could do that. And that's what makes it even more fun when somebody tells me I can't do it. I've never been somebody that conformed. I've never listened to people. I've always been hard-headed, and maybe that's my fallacy and fault about me too. But Sometimes it serves me well, and sometimes it should serve you well too. You can't listen to what other people tell you. You can't go around trying to please people. You can't base your whole life off of pleasing everybody else, because as soon as you start trying to live your dreams or live up to your potential, you're going to invalidate somebody else's lackadaisy. I'm gonna make up a word for you guys. Lackadaisicalness. Somebody's lackadaisicalness, right? Because they know they should be doing that, and if they see somebody else doing it, it invalidates them for them not doing it, right? So it's all psychology. So we shortchange ourselves by living up to other people's expectations of what they think we should do. Dude, do what the fuck you want to do, right? Do what makes you happy. Take some risks. Yeah, it's your game. Like shit. You're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna be 60 years old, you lived in the same town your whole life, you never did any experience, you never took any risks. So what if you fail? Fuck, I failed half a dozen times, right? I'm gonna fail some more. But take that step, walk in faith, and know that you're gonna fail, and it's okay. But you're going to have some losses too. You're going to have some you're going to have some wins too, right? You're going to have some massive wins. You can create a bunch of massive wins for yourself by putting yourself in a position where you could lose, right? Otherwise, you're staying stagnant. You're not even on the field. Like you're not even on the sidelines. You're in the fucking stands, right? At least people on the sidelines are looking and like, I might get in the game. Like some of these people on the sidelines, and they're the biggest critics. Fucking get in the game, dude. Come play. And that's kind of how you have to look at being an entrepreneur, right? Is you're gonna have a bunch of critics, but those critics are not even on the field. They're in the freaking stands. They're not even on the sidelines. So, anyway, I'm getting off tangent. 4 things we just talked about. If you just jumping on this live, you got to work out, guys. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, all these different things. Look, I got punched in the gut yesterday. I found out something about a deal I bought that I was like, it's not the end of the world, but it was something I didn't know. And I fucked up, and I should have known. I should have did more research. I was like, fuck. And it kind of gave me anxiety, right? But, I had to look past it. But you're always going to have some shit like that when you're trying to play a big game. Work out, eat right, fast. And what was the 4th thing? Action can't catch anxiety. Or anxiety can't catch action, right? Anxiety will not catch action. Stay in freaking action. And Big Mama had that 5th one, or 4th one. What was it? Stay around the right people.
Stay around the right people, peers who are on your same level that can relate to what you're going through.
Any more questions, guys? I saw a question come through, Patty.
Oh yeah, it said that bad child you were talking about, he's your payback 100%.
Oh, no doubt. My mom has told me that. My mom has told me that plenty of times. My mom says, I hope you have a son just like you one day. She told me that.
I think he's worse.
You think he's worse? I don't know, he might be, but he's a freak of nature.
Can you tell us how to wholesale multifamily units?
Same way you do single family. There's no difference, just more zeros at the end. I wholesaled 3 big units. I wholesaled a 12-unit apartment complex last year. A 62-unit apartment complex I wholesaled last year, and I wholesaled a big commercial building that did really well on. It's the same difference. The only issue with multifamily is that if you've never wholesaled a house, or if you're not like an investor that knows what he's doing, they'll better sniff that out. Because if they think you can't close on the deal and they know you're trying to wholesale it, it's hard to convince the buyer that you're really, or the seller that you're really going to buy it, right? I mean, I already buy multifamily. We have a portfolio of close to $20 million now. So I do buy multifamily. We just bought a $2.2 million deal 2 weeks ago. So people know I buy bigger deals.
And an apartment with Tim Bratz.
We just bought 105 units with Tim Bratz. I'm a partner on that deal. But so there is a bigger barrier to that. Like if you're just getting in and you're like, shit, I'm going to go straight to apartments. You can still do it, send mail out to apartments, right? Go door knock apartments, cold call apartments. I got a 20-unit mobile home park. I just picked up the phone and was doing, I was looking at a 12-unit apartment complex, and there was a mobile home park across the street. I called him, and he didn't want to sell. I kept following up with him, and now he's selling it to me for 1.1. We got it under contract. It's a 20-unit in Louisiana outside of Baton Rouge. So anyway, hope that helps. Guys, listen, if you want to come to my mastermind, inbox me. We got a few spots left. March 27th and 28th. It's a Friday and Saturday. If you just, or maybe you just want some coaching, right? Maybe you just want some real estate coaching, some mindset coaching, entrepreneurship. I've been there, done that. I've got a lot of experience, especially in the real estate realm. We do a lot of deals. We wholesale in 4 states. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you like I'm the biggest game, in the country. There's guys out there that do more deals than me, but I can tell you this: is not too many that as dynamic as I am, that do the amount of deals, have the portfolio. You may have, guys that do 40, 50 deals a month, but they're not, none of them are actually even, buying any deals. I get some of these companies, I'm like, dude, they wholesale 40, 50 deals a month, and they're not even keeping any of them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I just saw a comment come through from Michael, Patty, on Jared Irby's comment or something, or is that might be a different post?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's a different post.
But yeah, I mean, we do a lot of different things. We do multifamily, apartments, single family. We wholesale and flip single family homes and put, do a little bit of land development, but we put all that money into apartments and mobile home parks. That should be the model, guys. Like, you start with single family homes, wholesale, flip, wholesale, or wholesale and wholesale is really my model. I don't really like to do a ton of flipping. And if we do flipping, like I got a deal we closed on Friday in Pensacola. Shit, we're gonna put maybe 15 grand into it, right? Like, I'm not doing like paint, new carpet, and new appliances to throw in the back on my list. That's kind of the extent of like flipping and wholesale, and I like to. I'm not a big, strip it down to the studs and redo the whole thing and make it so beautiful. Dude, that shit's for the birds, right? And they glorify that shit on TV. It's not that fun or sexy. So start with wholesaling. If you're interested in learning how to wholesale, inbox me or go to chrisrood.com and book a call. You can get on a call and get you started. But I'm telling you, wholesaling is the golden goose. It's where you should start. I didn't start at wholesaling. That's why I'm telling you, if I'd have started at wholesaling, I'd be a lot further along. It's the ABCs. It's the 1, 2, 3s of real estate investing. So, any other questions, guys?
Where is SMS headed in 2020? Are you doing it?
I just started doing SMS last week. Haven't had a deal yet. I mean, we just literally started Thursday. I think we started. So, where is it headed? Shit, if I had a crystal ball, I'd probably be a billionaire. I don't really know. I don't think it's got to have a long life period. I think it's going to be blocked. I think it's going to be illegal eventually. I think social media is going to be always going to be a go-to as far as getting deals. That's kind of what we do. We do a lot of social media. Direct mail is tried and true. It's expensive. It works. It's a lot of people like to do it because it's one of those things that is very expensive. But if you do it over a duration of time and you stick to it, you can crush it in direct mail. I used to not believe that, and I'm just starting to. I used to not do a lot of direct mail, but I really messed up when I first got into real estate wholesaling 5 years ago. I started with direct mail, but I wasn't doing it right. But we consistently do a good amount of deals off of direct mail. You just have to be consistent with the right list over time. Even if you lose money one month, it always comes back. If you do it over time, it does pay off dividends, right? Anything else, Mama?
Not really.
No?
What's up, Chris? Can't wait to get started. Mike,
What's that, Patty?
Mike says, "What's up, Chris? Can't wait to get started."
Awesome, dude. Yeah, inbox me. My whole program is tailor-made for beginners. It's tailor-made for people to help you with your mindset, show you the latest and greatest tactics. My course and all of my programs, I have probably 150, 160 recorded coaching calls that you can have with the course that I've been recording over the past 5 years. High-level guys that I've recorded, not just me, but other guys that are big-time names. Big-time names in the industry that are doing better than me at certain aspects of real estate. So if you get started, can you figure this stuff out on your own? Yes, you can, but it's gonna be a whole lot tougher. Why wouldn't you just shorten that learning curve, compress time?
You tripled your income when you
I mean, I hired 3 coaches when I first got into this business. I hired 3 coaches back to back to back. I didn't play around, and I went from zero to hero in 60 days.
Yeah.
And but because I didn't want to waste any time, and maybe you don't have any, maybe you don't have the money. I don't know. Maybe you don't have the money to do it, but anyway, guys, if you're just jumping on, I'm not here to sell you a bill of goods on coaching. If you want me to coach you, great, inbox me. If not, no big deal. I just love going on here and giving value because I think it's good for the soul, right? It's good for me to come on here and give back, and you should do the same thing and help other people, right? But
some Jason asked, what personal development or sales classes would you recommend?
Man, I'm reading a book right now, and I consider myself like a stellar sales guy, like stellar. And I'm reading a book right now. It's such a good book, and it's Patty, go grab that book I'm reading on the side of my desk. I made a post about it this morning, but it's so fundamentally basic, but that's what you need. You need the basic fundamentals that you need to master, and it's how I lifted myself from failure to success through selling, right? And the book was written in like a long time ago. Like I'm talking like the 19 maybe 30s. Let me see it here. Give it here, Patty. How I Raise Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Beger. Written, Dale Carnegie wrote a side note. I know it was written like a long time ago, but it's a basic fundamental book on sales, right? I'm reading that right now. But you did
Cardone U.
I did, yeah. Cardone U was okay. You gotta realize, guys, sales is not a universal thing in every industry. Cardone U was more or less made for car sales guys. It could help a lot. In my industry, I went through Cardone U. I got a lot of good nuggets out of it, but it didn't really pertain a whole lot to real estate because what I do in sales and real estate is more empathetic selling. Cardone U is more like, hey, let's roll. It's real pushy. It's car sales, right? And it's great for car sales guys, but I didn't find it was real pertinent to my industry. So you kind of got to find that niche.
But you teach that in your course.
Yeah, I teach empathetic.
How to communicate.
Right. It's empathetic selling. What we do is it's more of you slow it down. It's not like, hey, let's roll. It's not real pushy. It's very, very, it's very, very slowed down. It's more or less letting them make a decision because it's not, you can't be pushy like with a motivated seller. Like, they're going through a tough time. You give them options. You show them the benefit of what they're going to, the benefit of using somebody like you to sell their property because it's hassle-free. You don't have to use a realtor, and we like the highest paid counselors in this business, right? Super high paid counselors, right? So Miguel just popped on. Miguel's a straight killer. Miguel would relate to what we're talking about right now. Miguel, I'm talking about, and by the way, you guys, you need to follow that guy, Miguel. He's a straight killer from Canada, but he's my partner here in the solar panel business here in Florida. But we're talking about, how to handle anxiety and stress and pressure and fear, right? And we're talking about the 4 fundamental things that you can do, and that's you have to exercise and work out because it's going to give you a competitive edge. You got to eat right. You got to fast. Fasting is going to help you. And action, guys. Action. Anxiety cannot catch action, right? If you stay in action, because as soon as I sit still, like the anxiety catches me and I get filled with fear, right? Just to catch you guys up that are on right now, that I want to keep reiterating the 4 things we talked about.
You could also add to that is knowledge, just like
knowingness. Yes, knowledge. That is a great point, Mom.
The amount of books between you and Miguel that y'all read every month.
Yep. Well, personal development will help you with anxiety and fear too. The more personal development you do, the more that you invest in yourself, you become more aware. Your confidence level goes up, so you can handle a lot of the fear and anxiety, right? And it's just because, like my mama used to always tell me when I was down and out as a kid, as a teenager, she goes, this too shall pass, Chris. I think that's a quote from the Bible, but it's so true, right? And but as you get more aware through personal development, through investing in yourself, being around the right people, you'll tend to be able to handle, a lot more stress and anxiety. And it does get easier over time, but what'll happen is you'll get yourself a bigger problem, and you'll want to invest in bigger deals, or you'll want to take a bigger risk, and you gotta be fundamentally developed to handle all that anxiety, right? So anyway, hope you guys are doing good. Miguel's gonna be speaking in my mastermind too on leadership, mindset, the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur. Dude's a straight killer, and he knows how to run a business. Guys got a lot of just unbelievable vision, unbelievable clarity on how to run a business. He'll be at the mastermind. Chris Nago on private money. Adrian Nez on online lead generation, Will Morris on syndication. So
Miguel just commented that love that, man. The anxiety and the fear can serve you. You can't scale a mountain without that feeling in the pit of your stomach. You have to learn to tap into it, to find another gear, and to innovate.
So true, dude. Spoken like a well-oiled entrepreneur.
Yes.
He's a well-oiled entrepreneur. He's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Like it comes hand in glove, guys. Like, you know, the anxiety and fear can fuel you, like Miguel said. Like, I know for me, it fuels me. It puts me in another gear. Like, it puts me in overdrive. I get in that next level of action because I don't want that anxiety to catch me, and I just freaking put it in overdrive. And I've told you that 100 times. I've had it. How many? As soon as I get anxiety and fear, I'm like, I go into overdrive mode. I go into almost freakazoid mode.
Yeah.
I don't want to be messed with. Don't talk to me. Let me get in the zone, and don't just leave me alone. Let me do my thing. And so yeah, it could benefit you too if you know how to use it in the right. But it can do the opposite effect too. It can debilitate you and cripple you. And I've had that happen.
Know how to handle
yeah, and I've had that happen to me too. You know, so it's a matter of knowing how to channel that, right? And just keep taking the next step. Put it in low gear, right? Put it in like 4 low, right? And just, even though it might be hard as shit, just put it in low gear and just keep taking the next step. Next step. Even if you go on 5 miles an hour, like, you will get out of the mud eventually, right? And it's just, you just can't quit, right? You can't stop and put it in. You know, and I know it's easier said than done. And even me talking about this, it's easier said for me than done for me too. I get in these points, I'm like, oh fuck, you know. So it's just, I'm not speaking as though like I'm a pro at this. I've been through a lot of anxiety and fear. I just know that it don't feel good, but there's ways to mitigate it, and there's ways to make it less painful, right? But at the end of the day, there's no way around it. The way out is through, right? So, any other questions, Big Mama?
It does help to have a good wife when you stress out.
It does help to have a good wife. A good wife.
Yeah.
Yep.
That lets you vent.
Yep. And she lets me vent, right? Boy, do I vent. And, you know, you need a support system, guys. You got to have a support system because at the end of the day, you can't do it on your own. Like, you need people helping you, right? It's spring break right now. I got all these kids walking around, and freaking people everywhere here in Destin. So my 14-year-old, they've been having half-naked girls walk around, and my 14-year-old is like, I don't know, he's in hog heaven. And these girls makes me nervous too. Yeah, half these girls got freaking G-strings on it. They're like 16. I'm like, dude, where's your mom? Where's your mom and dad? I would beat my daughter's ass. Or my daughter is not gonna walk around at spring break with a freaking thong on. Come on now.
No thong.
What's
Not
that?
all of them had that.
Well, it's Brazilian, like that Brazilian cuts, right? But anyway, getting off topic. But anyway, guys, hope to see you at the mastermind. If you're interested in me coaching you, go to chrisrood.com, book a call, inbox me. You want to skill up, guys. Constantly skill up, constantly invest in yourself, constantly get around the right people, and I promise you, at the end it'll all work out. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to have faith. You got to take the next step.
And you have to have people around you that believe in you.
Yep. Yep.
And keep reminding you.
Yep. And you're gonna have to. In that old saying, you got to fake it till you make it. I mean, there is some validity in that. Like, you need to fake it, meaning like, even though it hurts and you're like, I don't think I can do this, just keep taking the next step. You'll get out of that mud. You're just in mud, right? Just keep moving, and you'll feel better about it eventually, and you'll get out of that mud into the other valley, right, where it's not so muddy. And you look back like, fuck, I just went through that mud hole, right? And that's probably the southern country boy not me from mud ride. Maybe I'm giving you a bad analogy, but I hope that makes sense. It ain't gonna be easy, but it'll be worth it, right? Skill up at chrisrood.com. Any other last thoughts, Big Mama? Nope. All right. See y'all next Sunday. Peace.